I never wished I would address a press on the matter before us, but there's nothing we can do. I remember the words of Martin Luther when he said, "A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice." He said, "A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand for that which is true. And therefore, people should speak the truth. To do otherwise is cowardice." Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the struggle for the downtrodden pensioners of First Bank started far back as 2008. We applied every non-industrial relation practice in collective bargaining, but there has been no respect and or positive response from the management of First Bank. Firstly, we requested the bank to tell us how much is the value of our pension fund kept as security. Although the case is before the court now, we got judgment that yes, if you are a customer to the bank, you deserve the right to know how much your amount is, your balance is, and where it is kept. They have not done that to us. The case is before the bank, so we will not go into details. We have had several calls to call them for a meeting, but they have refused. For the avoidance of doubt, it is important to know that efforts made by our good selves, including the intervention of the Federal Ministry of Labor, the National Union of Pensioners, headquarters here in Abuja, even the Nigerian Labour Congress, yet First Bank has remained adamant. The continued refusal of the First Bank management to respect agreements led us to picketing in our Ibadan and Kaduna main branches in 2016. Unfortunately, and shamelessly too, the bank, in a show of ignorance to workers' rights, took us to court, asking the court to restrain us from picketing. And the court gave judgment and said, well, the industrial court, that workers have the right to protest. They went to take an appeal and ran away since 2016. For the past 15 years, you are aware of the labor laws, the law that every 5 years pension must be reviewed. For over 15 years now, First Bank have not reviewed her pensions. We have made efforts to request them for a roundtable discussion. To that effect, they have constantly refused. Most of us work in the bank for over 30, 35 years. And it's just like the case of throwing away the baby and the water, or refusing to look at the geese that lays the golden eggs. It is sad to say that the poor condition which the First Bank pensioners have been treated has caused untimely death to so many of us. Unfortunately, people will die, yes, but there are some ill health sicknesses that should, under normal circumstances, be taken care of. 15,000 naira per month, what can you do? You can't buy my BP drugs or sugar drugs, you cannot. It cannot even take me from my village or from my house to the town where pharmacies are. That's the pains we are going through. In 2018, the pensioners again picketed Kumasi House here in the central area, and our Marina branch, also at Ibadan branch. And a memorandum of understanding was signed, but they have flagrantly rejected or refused to obey that understanding. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it will shock you to know that First Bank pensioners are the least pension workers today in the financial sector. Can you imagine, like I said, we are paid pension from 4,500 per month, 8,000 per month, some 15,000. I receive a pension of 16,000 per month. Those who grow up to the rank of deputy general managers or general managers collect as low as 60,000 per month. Considering the economic situation in Nigeria today, what can that fit a family? Assuming just my wife and I, how much is a mudu of rice today? How much is whatever? So that's it. Today we call on the management of First Bank to resume negotiation. That's the purpose of our gathering here. We want to ask management to resume negotiation. It will interest you to know that the last time we met with them was in September last year. And they said they were doing something, that they will come up with a solution by December last year. Up to now, we have not been able to see it. We have written several letters asking them for a meeting. In fact, in December, they never wrote us until 2 weeks ago, after many letters, and after the threat to picketing before they wrote us. We are now asking for an upward review of our monthly pension. We are also asking for at least a 300 minimum pay for annual medical care. They pay us 30,000 now, annually for medical. 30,000 naira annually for medical. I don't know how much is a bed in a general hospital. General hospitals no longer treat people. If you are going for any test, even ordinary blood sugar test, you pay more than 5,000 naira. I hear you have 30,000 naira per year. This is very painful, very, very painful. Like I said, for people who worked in the bank for upwards of 30 to 35 years, unfortunately, all the bank workers, I can dare to say, none of them was in the bank as at the time I retired from the bank. None of them was in the bank. They are young men who are occupying heavy, heavy positions. Some of them bring their cronies, their children, and they place them at a very high position. That's the bank we are working for. I have been talking about management of First Bank, who are well known in the nation to their promises. Today we call on First Bank to ascertain the amount and the whereabouts of our pension funds. I said the case is before the court, but for you to know, this is one of the things we are talking about. Besides, with the over 5% shareholding, we ought to be represented at the bank's board, but we are not. Our holding share is over 5%, with over 300 billion naira. Now we have taken our case to the public domain and pray all well-meaning Nigerians, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the First Bank Board Chairman, to intervene and cause the First Bank management to do the needful soonest. We know that the bank has been delaying implementation thinking and praying that our members will all one by one die. Of course, we will all die. But what shall it profit them if we all die? Ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is our journey. This is our pains. This is our sad story. Thank you very much.
Any questions?